And what the IRR found in their report was that many South Africans are actually renting out their additional accommodation or rooms to immigrants.
Recently, there have been a number of attacks on trucks in protest to the employment of foreign nationals in the freight sector. This follows after local truck driver associations accused the sector of preferring to employ foreign nationals over South African citizens. Joining me to unpack this further is my colleague Gerbrandt van Heerden. Gerrie, is this hostility towards foreign nationals only held by a disgruntled few, or is anti-immigrant sentiment prevalent throughout South African society?
So violence against foreign workers in South Africa is not a new phenomenon. In fact, a platform that tracks attacks on immigrants in South Africa called XenoWatch stated that since 1994, more than a few hundred immigrants have been killed in the country, and thousands upon thousands of foreign-owned businesses have either been looted or burned down. Now, most of these attacks are committed by a radical few, but a number of studies have shown that anti-immigrant sentiment is actually held by the majority of South Africans. Now, in 2013, research by the Human Science Research Council showed that about 2/3 of South Africans polled were in favor of closing the South African border to immigration. Many of these South Africans polled were also in favor of restrictive immigration policies, and they also strongly believe that immigrants in the country should not be granted the same rights as South African citizens. There was also a similar finding by a more recent study in 2020 by the Ijikuvets Family Foundation. Now, in their report titled The African Youth Survey of 2020, they interviewed more than 4,000 young Africans across the continent. And what was found was that the majority of young people from most of the countries that participated in the survey were welcoming to immigrants. In fact, more than 80% of young people from Senegal and Rwanda agreed with the statement that their countries should help refugees from neighboring countries, regardless of their impact on the economy. Now, the same cannot be said for South Africa. In fact, 2/3 of young South Africans believe that refugees have a negative impact on the economy and should be sent back home to their country of origins. So these studies show that the majority of South Africans harbor hostility towards immigrants.
Enjoying this analysis? Click here to sign up for our 30-day free trial for more content from the CIA. What do you think explains the unwelcoming environment in South African society to foreign labor?
I think the short answer is the fact that immigrants represent, to many South Africans, they represent strong competition for jobs in a country that already has scarce resources. So, for example, we mentioned Rwanda and Senegal earlier. Now, according to the World Bank, in 2017, Senegal had an unemployment rate of less than 10%, and Rwanda had an unemployment rate of around 17%. Now, compare that to the official unemployment rate of 27% for South Africa, and you can start to understand why many South Africans see immigrants as strong competition for jobs. Now, not only that, but Senegal and Rwanda have some of the fastest economic growth rates in the world, while South Africa has been flirting with recessionary levels for the last few years. So the point is that South Africa, unlike Rwanda and Senegal, is a country where there is no opportunity, and there isn't an environment that is conducive to investment, the establishment of businesses, and job creation. And because of that, many South Africans are now taking their frustration out on foreign workers who they believe are stealing jobs from them.
Lastly, in reality, are foreign nationals really taking job opportunities away from South Africans?
So contrary to popular belief, immigrants actually have a net positive impact on South Africa's economy. We can see this by looking at research done by the Institute of Race Relations a few years ago. The Institute of Race Relations, or IRR, released a report that attempted to understand the situation of immigrants in South Africa, where they come from, where they work in the country, and why they chose South Africa as their destination of choice. And one of the main findings from that report is that immigrants in South Africa do create jobs for local citizens. So when we look at more than 1,000 foreign-owned businesses in Johannesburg and Cape Town, what the IRR found was that a third of the employees working for those foreign-owned businesses were South African. So immigrants do create job opportunities for South Africans. Then secondly, because of the illegal status of many immigrants in South Africa, many of them cannot qualify for a home loan or for RDP housing or social housing from the government. So many immigrants in South Africa are desperately looking for accommodation or a space from which to operate their business from. And what the IRR found in their report was that many South Africans are actually renting out their additional accommodation or rooms to immigrants. So immigrants are providing an additional form of income for South Africans. And then thirdly, it is believed that immigrants do not pay tax in the country, but immigrants can't avoid paying VAT or value-added tax on products purchased from wholesalers. So not only are immigrants helping out wholesalers in South Africa, but they're also indirectly contributing to the country's finance. From these examples, it's clear that immigrants have a positive impact on the country's economy. And if this knowledge is more widely known, then I believe that South Africans will have a change of heart and be more accommodating to immigrants.
Thank you, Gerrie, for joining me this morning. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and make sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the CIA channel.